Hello students, welcome to Gate Electronics Guruji classes. In the last two videos, we discussed the basic concept of even signal and odd signal. We also discussed the concept of even components and odd components of the signal. And in this video, we are going to start the topic properties of even and odd signals. I will discuss the properties of even and odd signal in two videos. In the first video, I will discuss 6 properties of even and odd signal, and in the next video, I will discuss rest of the I think 6 to 7 properties of even and odd signals. I am making two videos instead of a single video because it becomes a bit easier for my team to process the video, to edit the video, and to upload the video if the duration of the video is lesser than 15 minutes. That's why I am making two videos instead of a single video. So let's start the properties of even and odd signals. The first property says that DC values are even in nature. In the introductory video on signal and system, I discussed that DC values cannot be regarded as signals in the truest sense of the term. Because for a physical quantity to be regarded as signals, the physical quantity should have some variation with respect to time. But at DC values have a constant value throughout the time, from t varying from minus infinity to plus infinity. So DC values cannot be regarded as signals. That's why I did not say DC values are even signals. Rather, I said DC values are even in nature. Now let us prove this. Suppose we have a DC value x of t equal to 10. Let us find out the expression of x of minus t. How do we find out x of minus t? We simply replace t by minus of t. Now observe, in the expression of xt, we have a single term which is a constant 10. There is no other term present in the expression of xt which is varying with respect to time. Hence, x of minus t will also be equal to 10. So as we see that x of t is exactly equal to x of minus t, hence xt is even in nature. I hope it is clear. This can also be explained that the DC values are even in nature from the waveform of the DC values. Let me draw the waveform of the DC value xt equal to 10 very quickly. This is the time axis, the x-axis, and this is the y-axis or the amplitude axis. All right. Okay. So the waveform of xt equal to 10 will look something like this. Now look at the waveform of xt. When we discussed the basic concept of even and odd signals, we said that the waveform of DC values are always symmetrical about y-axis. Look at the waveform of xt. This waveform is also symmetrical about y-axis because whatever is present in the right hand side of y-axis, that is this portion, is exactly similar to what is present in the left hand side of y-axis, that is this portion. So the portion on the right hand side of y-axis is exactly similar to the portion in the left hand side of y-axis. So clearly this waveform is symmetrical about y-axis. Hence this waveform represents an even waveform. I won't use the term even signal because DC values are not signals. Rather, I would say that this waveform of DC value is even in nature. I hope the concept is clear. Now let us come to the property 2. The second property says that even signal plus minus even signal results in an even signal. That means if you add one even signal with another even signal, the result is an even signal, or if you subtract one even signal from another even signal, the result is an even signal. Let me take an example of this case to have a better concept of this. Suppose xt is a signal which is given as t square plus t to the power 4. You know that t square is an even signal because we have a even number in the power of t. So t square is an even signal. Similarly, t to the power 4 is also an even signal because we have an even number 4 in the power of t. So t square is even in nature, as well as t to the power 4 is also an even signal. Now let us find out x of minus t. X of minus t will be obtained by replacing t by minus t. So this t will be replaced by minus t and I will have minus of t whole square. Similarly, this t will be replaced by minus t and I will have minus of t whole to the power 4. So I am having x of minus t is equal to minus of t whole square is equal to t square. Minus of t whole to the power 4 is t to the power 4. So x of minus t is coming exactly equal to xt because t square plus t to the power 4 is the expression of xt. So what you finally have is x of minus t is equal to xt. So you are finally having x of minus t equal to xt. So clearly xt is even in nature. So this xt is even in nature. So you observe that if we add one even signal with another even signal, the resultant signal is even in nature. Similarly, you can prove that if we subtract one even signal from another even signal, the resultant will be an even signal. Now let us come to the third property. The third property says that odd signal plus minus odd signal results in an odd signal. That is, if we add one odd signal with another odd signal, the result will be an odd signal. Or if we subtract one odd signal from another odd signal, the result will be an odd signal. Let me take an example of this case to explain this. Suppose we have a signal xt equal to t to the power 3 plus t to the power 5. You know that t to the power 3 is odd signal. Why it's an odd signal? Because we have an odd number 3 in the power of t. So if I replace this t by minus t, I will have minus of t whole cube. If I replace the t by minus t, I will have minus of t whole cube. So minus of t whole cube is nothing but minus t cube. So you observe that when I replace t by minus t, a negative sign comes out. So t to the power 3, that is t cube, is an odd signal. Similarly, t to the power 5 is also an odd signal because you have an odd number 5 in the power of t. Now let us find out the expression of x of minus t. X of minus t is equal to, how will I obtain x of minus t? I have to replace t by minus of t, right? So let's replace this t by minus t. You will have minus of t whole cube plus replace this t by minus t, minus of t whole to the power 5. So from minus t whole cube is nothing but minus t cube and minus t whole to the power 5 is nothing but minus t to the power 5. So I can take a minus common and I will have minus of t cube plus t to the power 5, and t cube plus t to the power 5 is nothing but xt. So I have minus xt. So what you are having is x of minus t is equal to minus of xt. So clearly xt is an odd signal. So xt is an odd signal. So what you finally obtain is, if you add one odd signal with another odd signal, you obtain an odd signal. Similarly, you can prove if you subtract an odd signal from another odd signal, the result will also be an odd signal. I hope that the concept is clear up to this part. Now let us come to the next property. The next property says that even signal plus minus odd signal is neither even nor odd signal. That means if we add one even signal with another odd signal, the result will be neither even nor odd signal, or if we subtract an odd signal from an even signal, the result will be neither even nor odd signal. Let us prove this. Suppose we have a signal xt which is equal to t square plus t cube. You know that t square is even signal because we have a even number 2 in the power of t, and t cube is an odd signal because you have an odd number 3 in the power of t, right? And now I have to find out the nature of xt. So let us replace t by minus t. So you will have x of minus t equal to, replace this t by minus t, you will have minus t whole square. Replace this t by minus t, you have minus of t whole cube. So you will have t square minus of t cube. Now see that t square minus t cube is not equal to xt, right? and t square minus t cube is also not equal to minus xt, right? So x of minus t is neither equal to xt and x of minus t is neither equal to minus of xt. So clearly xt is neither even nor odd signal. Nano stands for neither even nor odd. Now let us prove this. Even signal into even signal results in an even signal. Suppose you have a signal xt which is equal to t square into t to the power 4. We know that t square into t to the power 4 is t to the power 6. T square is an even signal because you have an even digit 2 in the power of t. T to the power 4 is also even signal because you have an even number 4 in the power of t. T to the power 6 is also an even signal because you have an even number 6 in the power of t. So you observe that when you multiply an even signal with another even signal, the resultant signal is also even in nature. Clear? Now let us come to the last property of this lecture. You see that an odd signal into odd signal is an even signal. Let us take an example. Say xt is equal to t to the power 3 into t to the power 5. We know that t to the power 3 is an odd signal because you have an odd number 3 in the power of t. Similarly, t to the power 5 is an odd signal because you have an odd number 5 in the power of t. And t to the power 3 into t to the power 5 is t to the power 8, which is an even signal because you have an even number 8 in the power of t, right? So you observe that when we multiply two odd signal, the result is an even signal. The rest of the properties will be discussed in the next lecture. I hope that the concept is clear up to this part. If you have any doubt up to this part, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you.